my name's Nicole, and today I'm going to show you how I've made this little snuggle sleepy hut for my green cheek conure Pippin. It is just coming on fall in Oregon here, and I'm trying to give him something wonderfully warm and snuggly to go into. I've tried to make this a really safe little house for him. I've created a lot of cross stitching in here so that there's no big holes for him to climb into if he chewed a hole in it. And I will be checking it really frequently, every day or every week, to make sure that he's not chewing holes in there in the inside. Hopefully this is not the style that he'll have that problem with, since he can't really climb in it all the way to the back here because there's no perch back there, but we'll see. I've also given him some little extra snuggly hanging things here to rub against, just because he's such a snuggly guy. And I will just be tying it up in his cage with that. So without further ado, I'm going to go back to the beginning and show you how I've made this for him. I'm starting out, and I've got 2 pieces of this polar fleece here, this nice soft fluffy stuff, and I know Pippin loves to snuggle in it because every time he gets on a blanket or a jacket or anything, he just starts rubbing all over this stuff. And it should be really cozy. I'm going to do 2 thicknesses of it. So what I'm going to do first is, I've already figured out what size this is. This is a perch that I'm going to use. And what I want mine to look like is going to be something along this line as far as the height of this triangle. So it's going to be about like that when it hangs. And then I'm going to allow a little bit to hang down here in the back. And then I've cut it back to this length, this width here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it together up the back like that. And that's going to make him sort of a little tent in here when he perches on that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my machine set up, and I'm going to go around the edges here. I'm not going to worry about turning it right side out. I'm going to actually let the seams be exposed here and just leave some fun little frilly edges for him to rub on, because why not? Give him some of that nice texture. I'm also going to take some of these, some of this remnant, and what I'm going to do, and this is an experiment, I've never seen this done on this type of little snuggle house before, but I thought he might like it. And what I'm going to do is, to make this a little bit more snuggly for him, I'm actually going to tack a few of these in here like this, and I'm just going to sew them down right on this line so that when it hangs, it's going to leave a bunch of little bits like this to kind of flop off to the inside, and those are going to kind of fluff up the inside for him so that he has a little bit snugglier, cozier spot. That's also going to give him something to chew on, but that's going to prevent him from hopefully chewing holes on the inside of this that he could then stick a foot in or stick a head in and get stuck. So I'm going to get that started, and we'll see where we are. Okay, so I've finished my little hut now. So the last thing to do is to attach the perch. Now, one of the things that I think is really important, and I can't stress this enough, you really want to look over this for threads that could catch. One of the reasons that or the main reason that I made this sort of quilted, is that there's not a bunch of big holes for him to stick his head into or climb into if he were to chew a hole in this. But if you have any little threads in here, I'm going to be snipping all of these off. And just, I can't stress enough, inspect this on a regular basis. Make sure that your bird's not putting holes in it. I have read stories about birds climbing inside of little huts like this, chewing a hole in here, and then sticking their head in and smothering because they couldn't get their head back out. So please, please inspect this on a regular basis. I am not an expert on bird safety. I am using common sense safety here, and I'm planning on checking this really frequently to make sure that he's not chewing holes in it. And if he does, this is gonna have to, to not be used anymore. Again, checking it over for threads, making sure that it's all really safe for him. So the next thing and the last thing to do is to attach my perch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a couple of small hook and eyes, well, no hook, just eyes, little eye hooks. And I'm going to pre-drill up in the center of this. This is an alder branch. It has been washed and baked to sanitize it from outside birds. So now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna find the point at which I want the height here. I have a green cheek conure, he's not huge. So I'm gonna make this somewhat small, and I'm just gonna leave a little overhang here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stick this right through the fabric and through into that hole. And if you need to, you can poke through with a scissor or something like that, but I don't think I'm gonna need to do that. I think this is just going to be a matter of getting it started. Once it's started, I like to just do this. That gets it in nice and tight. Then I'm going to do the other one on the other side. Again, just sticking it right through the fabric. I'm not poking a hole in the fabric first or anything. I'm just assuming it's going to poke right through there, although this one is kind of twisting the fabric up as it goes. See if we can just push past that and hold it in place until it really bites into that pre-drilled hole. There we go. And again, I've got my little tiny screwdriver here. Can just gives us a little bit more torque so we can get that all the way around, and here we have it. I've got some strings there that need to come up still. So now I've got a little tent for him, and look at that. I did not get these perfectly centered. I'm not going to worry about it too much. This is kind of a trial and error. We're going to see if he uses it. It's getting on toward fall here, and my house gets down to about 65 at night. Sometimes it gets down a little bit lower, but I just thought he is such a snuggly guy. He loves to be in blankets. Let's make him something nice for nighttime. So now I've got a little hook here, so I can actually go ahead and put a little string on there with some beads or something in case he wants to play on it. And now I can just picking up all my spare threads that are left everywhere here. And I can just tie this right to the bars at the top of his cage and let him snuggle in it. So there you go. That's how I made my own little bird snuggle hut for him. And we'll see if he likes it. I will show you some pictures of it up in his cage, and hopefully I'll be able to get a video of him snuggling in it after he gets used to it. Thanks a lot. All right, here's Pippin in his nice little hut. He's been sleeping in it, and he likes to take a bath and then climb in. So he's loving it. He also likes to chew on the little things that are hanging in there. So hopefully those will keep him from chewing on the outside. All right, buddy. Say bye-bye, Pippin.
Bye-bye, Pippin. See you later.